It's a new week and it's a new month. Welcome to June, second day of June, 2025. I'm Dan Kuntz. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, 54 degrees, high clouds. They'll be leaving as the day progresses. By 1 o'clock, they'll be gone, Johnson, altogether. Lots of sunshine, and we are in for a very warm start to June. We're going to climb up the temperature ladder a couple of degrees each day until we get into the 90s over the weekend. A rather large ridge of high pressure is moving in. We'll move in today. It'll be here well entrenched by the end of the day today, and it's not going to go anywhere. So it's going to be very warm, very dry. Again, relative humidity is going to be rocked down there. And of course, now we have these longer days, warmer temperatures. Obviously, everybody's a little concerned about fire, and we are going to have some wind in the middle of the week. But outside of that, the one thing that we really need is rain, and that's nowhere to be had. Forecast details are coming up, plus some rather sobering weather statistics to send your way. There's a lot of news, as you might imagine, and we will have all of that for you in block number B. Sports, lots of that. Mariners got sick and tired of playing extra inning games, so they only played a 9-inning game yesterday, but they had to do it in the bottom of the ninth, but they pulled out the victory over the Twins. We'll have highlights of the Wenatchee Panther boys soccer team. They finished third in state this year. They lost in the semifinals on Friday night to Hazen, but they beat the Chiawana Riverhawks for the third place trophy on Saturday afternoon against Chiawana. We will have highlights of that, plus WVSO action as well. And my interview with Sarah Baum, the events and marketing manager for the Wenatchee World, because for the first time ever, the World's Best Awards is going to be a public affair. The actual handing out of the awards, the votes have been tallied, the certificates have been printed, and on Wednesday night at the Wenatchee Convention Center, you can participate. You can show up and fork over $35 and see who won what. Sarah will talk about that in the back half of the program. There's a lot to get to today. It's going to be a very busy Monday. Let's get moving with our cameras around the valley. There are the high clouds that really rolled in late yesterday afternoon into the evening hours. They're going to be, again, exiting the area. Big difference in the temperatures over the weekend. Saturday we hit 87, but yesterday we only got to 77. Now, if it felt kind of cool, it shouldn't, because our normal high is 75 degrees, so it was still above normal temperature-wise. Yeah, on Sunday, it just felt a little on the cool side. Sunrise this morning was at 5:07, just about an hour ago. Sunset tonight, 8:51. These are the long, long days now, 15 hours and 44 minutes of daylight. We never quite get past the 16-hour mark. It never quite happens. We get close to it. You folks up in the Omak-Okanagan area and Orville up near the Canadian border, or you're higher up there, you do have 16-hour days in a couple of weeks. We never quite get there, but we get awfully close. Camera number 2 is off to Lake Chelan, rapidly filling because, again, the Stehekin is running high. The Mission Ridge had a significant amount of snowmelt over the weekend. I noticed that, too. This is the time of the year where it really starts to flow. The rivers and streams start picking up in intensity with all that melted snow that's way up in the upper elevations. What we really need is rain, and this is very sobering. For the month of May, we had just about 1/10 of an inch of rain total for the month of May, 1/10 of an inch. A normal month of May, we would have 3/4 of an inch of rain. So we had almost no measurable rain in the month of May, and that is not good. We are deep into a big-time drought. We need the rain, and there is none coming. Camera number 3. Up to Lake Wenatchee. It looks very peaceful there. This is a good time for the skeeters. I think they like this weather, and they're also usually out and about. The only time you don't really get into skeeters this time of the year is if it's windy. They don't like the wind. No wind in the forecast up at Lake Wenatchee, and you can see the snow continues to melt up the White River Valley. It's receding rather rapidly. And our 4th camera to wrap up our Monday morning tour takes us up to Billy Goats, USA. Omak, you're at 52 degrees. We're at 54, by the way. Warm spot, no surprise there. Ephrata and Moses Lake, you're both at 57 degrees. Everybody is going to see warm temperatures. This came out over the weekend. They do this on the last day of May to tell you what June is going to look like. It's one little slide from the National Weather Service. Pretty self-explanatory. We have a better than 50-50 chance for a warmer and drier June than we normally have, especially on the dry part. That's not good. We are desperately in need of measurable precipitation. We are way behind where we should be this time of the year, and this time of the rainy season for the National Weather Service starts on October 1st and runs through September 30th. We're just bone dry. It looks like it's going to be a hot and dry June for most of our viewing area, well, for all of our viewing area from the Climate Prediction Center. You just don't like to see that. Weather, well, it looks something like this. From the National Weather Service, you will see a lot of those yellow things spinning around clockwise. That is the sun. And here we go. It's going to be sunny and dry most of the day today. The clouds will be here, but eventually they'll depart and we'll get up to about 76, which is just about normal for this time of the year. Clear tonight, 53 for the overnight low, and then we go up into the 80s. On Tuesday, a little wind, a brief little pop-in wind event Tuesday night, not much, but enough to mention anyway. And again, the relative humidities are not going to be much. So we'll be a little bit warmer on Wednesday and then a little bit warmer on Thursday, right about 86 on Friday. And then we're talking close to 90 on Saturday and Sunday. Lots of sunshine outside of a little bit of wind on Tuesday night. Very little wind, just sunny and warm, and then sunny and hot and very, very low humidity. Well, just about summertime, I guess. Certainly going to feel that way. All right, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break and come back with the news, and there's a lot of it. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, Monday edition on the NCWLIFE channel.
A ductless unit from Carrier can keep anyone comfortable. Take Shelly, for instance. She finds me time in her new attic-turned-home gym. And with her Carrier ductless unit, the temperature is always perfect. No matter how intense her workout gets. Carrier. Total comfort. Totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air. Call Alpine Air.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. TourMosesLake.com and start your adventure today.
The Surf and Slide Water Park is open from Memorial Day through Labor Day. Surf and Slide is located in the heart of Central Washington in Moses Lake with activities for all ages and abilities. Check out Surf and Slide's Flow Rider Surfing Simulator, Lazy River, 2 200-foot water slides, tube slides, and diving boards. Our children's area includes a Treasure Island water structure, splash pad, and baby octopus slide. For season passes, visit us online or find Surf and Slide on Facebook.
High clouds, it's 54 degrees. The clouds will be thinning out and leaving the area, and by the middle of the afternoon, we'll see quite a bit of sunshine, and we start warming up 2 to 3 degrees each day to the early to low 90s anyway by the time we get to the weekend. Lots of sunshine, very low relative humidity, and a bit of an elevated fire risk too, as you might imagine. It's 9 minutes after the hour. If you were anywhere near a computer or a smartphone over the weekend, you know about this, but the Wenatchee Police Department is asking for the public's assistance in locating 3 juvenile females. They are believed to be missing and unable to return home on their own. All 3 were last seen around 5 o'clock on last Friday as they left their home with the father for their planned visitation. They have not returned. They cannot make contact with the father. That is Evelyn Decker. She is 8 years old. Again, last seen on Friday, reported missing on Saturday. That is Olivia Decker. She is 5 years old. And the oldest of the 3 sisters is Peyton Decker. She is 9 years old, all last seen on Friday. Their father, Travis Decker, is a homeless man. He's been living in his vehicle or in campgrounds or in local hotel and motel rooms. They left about 5 o'clock on Friday the 30th. The children are considered at risk, unable to return home without help. Again, the suspect in the disappearance is their father, identified as Travis Decker. He is 32 years old. They were last seen in a 2017 GMC Sierra pickup truck with a Washington license plate of D20165C. Obviously, if you see them or you think you see them, call Rivercom, please. We'll have more on this tonight at 5 o'clock. A 37-year-old Antioch motorist was seriously injured. 2 others treated at a local hospital. There was a head-on crash Friday night on Highway 97A near the mouth of the Knaps Hill Tunnel. The Washington State Patrol says the driver, Darren A. Reyes, was southbound in a 2020 Chevrolet Equinox, crossed into the oncoming lane near milepost 225. This happened at about 7:30 on Friday night. His vehicle struck a northbound 2007 Lexus and then was hit in turn by a 2003 Dodge Ram pickup. Troopers say they believe Reyes was under the influence of drugs or alcohol at the time of the crash. He was taken for treatment to Harborview Medical Center in Seattle. The driver of the Lexus, 35-year-old Demetro Pavlis of Auburn, and the driver of the pickup, 35-year-old Juvenal Gomez of Chelan. They were both treated at Lake Chelan Health. All 3 vehicles, by the way, were totaled in that accident. A Wenatchee man was arrested Friday after a woman jumped through the driver's side window of the vehicle he'd allegedly stolen from her 2 days prior. On Thursday, Wenatchee police responded to reports of a woman hanging out of the window of a moving car near the Wenatchee Valley Quick Stop. When they arrived, they found the woman with abrasions to her feet. She told officers that she had loaned her car to 56-year-old Bradley W. Armstrong of Wenatchee a couple of days prior, but she hadn't heard from him since then. When she saw her car parked at the gas station, she dove into the driver's side window and tried to stop Armstrong from driving away. Armstrong allegedly drove a short distance up the road while punching the woman in the head before finally stopping the car and running away with his passenger. The woman was treated for her injuries at Confluence Health. Armstrong was found and arrested on suspicion of theft of a motor vehicle, second-degree assault, and first-degree robbery. Well, burn bans are now in effect. They went into effect yesterday in Chelan, Douglas, and Grant counties to promote public safety and take preventative measures against wildfires. The burning of all yard debris, household garbage, and other materials is prohibited. In Chelan County, fireworks and the use of exploding targets and any kind of ammunition that may blow up also prohibited. Some burn bans are allowed in Douglas and Grant counties, but only if you get a permit from the people who issue these things. A wildfire ignited on Thursday in Grant County after a controlled burn became uncontrolled. That's why they put burn bans into place. The violation of a burn ban, if you violate it, may result in a citation and a fine. A hunting and fishing advocacy group has asked the governor to remove 4 members of the Washington State Fish and Wildlife Commission, including a member from Wenatchee. Retired wildlife biologist John Lemkuhl has been a commissioner since 2022 and the head of the panel's Big Tent Committee, which helps set wildlife management policy. The National Sportsmen's Alliance announced earlier this month that it's petitioning Governor Bob Ferguson to remove Lemkuhl, as well as 3 other commissioners. The lobbying group says the commissioners violated open meetings laws and public records laws by developing policy behind closed doors, and their decision to cancel spring hunts for black bear violated the commission's mandate to maximize fishing and hunting opportunities. The Sportsmen's Alliance says it delivered its petition to the governor's office on May 16th. The governor's office has not responded to a request for comment from NCWLIFE. The Grant County PUD has officially been granted a higher credit rating from Moody's, the global credit rating agency. They moved up from an AA3 positive to an AA2 stable. Moody's says that the PUD's credit was improved due to the PUD's large amount of liquid reserves, cash reserves, wholesale power sale revenues, and low ratio of debt to valuable assets. The rating will be applied to the PUD's current debt. Right now it's $575 million. That will help lower finance costs for future borrowing. However, the PUD says as of now, no need for borrowing is expected until 2028. And the month of June has been officially proclaimed Ride Transit Month by the cities of Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, Cashmere, Chelan, Waterville, Leavenworth. It's a month-long celebration recognizing the public transit system and the role it plays in local communities. And Lake Transit, not surprisingly, is celebrating. They're hosting a Kids Day at Columbia Station on June 14th from 11 a.m. to 2 o'clock. Children can ride the bus with a local mascot, and a bingo game will be available on Link's website that can be played by riding various routes. Link's mascot, there he is right there, Chip the Duck, will also be riding buses throughout the month. And if you spot Chip, you can receive a Link-themed merchandise of one kind or another. Not sure. That's the news at 16 minutes after the hour. The month of June is here, and it's going to be a busy day in the newsroom. But we think it's important that you stay in the loop of what's going on around here in the Wenatchee Valley in north central Washington. That's why we have the news to begin with. At 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock. The NCWLIFE Evening News on television. If you consume your television the non-traditional way, we have you covered. Our news will be posted on our homepage, ncwlife.com. There'll be a link on our Facebook page and also on our YouTube page. You can check it out there. And if you have a news tip, don't hesitate. Send us an email, news@ncwlife.com. It was a busy weekend in sports, and I'll prove it to you in 2 minutes. You're watching Wake Up in Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
There's no place like home, because home is where we're totally comfortable. It's where we can be ourselves and let our guards down. It's where we make memories, and we're always imagining new ways to keep it totally comfortable. Carrier, total comfort, totally happy.
Turn to the experts, Carrier and Alpine Air. Heat and air, call Alpine Air. Central Washington Water understands the power of healing waters. If part of your wellness routine includes hot heat from a sauna, Central Washington Water now carries indoor and outdoor infrared and hot rock saunas by Tilo. Research shows there are many health benefits to a cold plunge after a good workout or relaxing time in your sauna. Harness the power of water in a hot spring spa, plug-and-play spas, a Tilo sauna, or a cold plunge tub. Stop by Central Washington Water, your wellness experts.
The joys of sitting in traffic, burning gas, donating your paycheck to parking enforcement. Or you could join us this June for Ride Transit Month. On Link, you ride for free, anytime, anywhere. Plus, Link's electric buses run on clean local hydropower. Thanks, Columbia River. So while you're saving some cash, you're also saving a planet. So hop on board Link for Ride Transit Month. Stress-free, wallet-friendly, eco-smart.
Craving fresh Asian comfort food? Steam Panda is Wenatchee's popular, family-friendly Asian restaurant. They focus on providing guests with delicious, healthy, fresh, and natural dishes for an affordable price. It's time to enjoy one of their many popular house-made soup dumplings, ramen noodles, or pho dishes. And make sure to ask about their lunch and chef specials on sushi rolls. Steam Panda's Hawaiian poke bowl and salads are excellent with your favorite boba tea. Stop by or order online at Steam Panda today.
Sports at 19 minutes after the hour. Cal Raleigh hit his major league leading 23rd homer. Randy Arozarena hit the game-winning run, the base hit in the ninth inning, and that gave the Mariners a 2-1 victory over the Twins yesterday afternoon. Mariners take 2 of 3 from the Twins, and they hold a half-game lead over the Astros in the AL West.
First pitch to Cal Raleigh. Fly ball right field. Sailing back. Gone! Legend Cal Raleigh. The Mariners lead in the 7th.
And who else would it be other than Cal Raleigh right now, who has just been on fire? 6 home runs in his last 6 games.
I think the Twins have seen enough of Cal Raleigh.
Just absolutely amazing.
2-2 on Bader. Infield in. And this one in the air to center field. Rodriguez back, now coming in. He will make the catch. Clemens tagging, heading home. The throw is coming up the line, and the run scores. And Munoz backing up near the plate to third Bride, and we're tied at 1 on a game-tying sac fly from Bader Tots. It's 1-1 here in Seattle.
There he goes, on to second. The throw is very high. Julio pops up. He's on his way to third, and the winning run is 90 feet away.
Mariners playing some great baseball right here. He's in motion as Jeffers airmails this one out to Bader in center field, and Julio jumps to his feet, and now just 90 feet away.
2-1. Ground ball, Mariners win! Randy Arozarena wins it in the bottom of the ninth inning.
Arozarena with a clutch knock right back through the middle. And it was the aggressive base running by Julio to get to third base to give him that opportunity.
The Mariners walk off the Twins for the second straight day and put the final touches on a series win.
Mariners have the day off today, by the way, before they host the Orioles. A 3-game set starts tomorrow. George Kirby, by the way, will get the nod for the Mariners. To the scoreboard and the standings we go in the American League West. There you go. There's Seattle's victory over Minnesota. Texas bombed the Cardinals 8-1. It was the Blue Jays over the Athletics 8-4. Cleveland got by the Angels 4-2. And Houston, who's been right on our heels for the last couple of weeks, they got by Tampa Bay. Not by much, though. 1-0. So Seattle's lead over the Astros is still a half a game. Well, the Wenatchee Apple Sox began their 25th season Friday night with the Yakima Valley Pippins in town. The Sox hit 10 base hits, but that's all they were, base hits, singles, and they only managed just 1 run. Why? Well, they committed 4 errors, and the Apple Sox hit into 3 double plays. Our cameras were there, as was Eric Granstrom and Brandon Schmitten right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Yakima Valley a pitch away from loading up the bases here with nobody out in the top of the first inning. Pitch on the way, swung on a well-hit ball, deep left center field. No one's going to get to this one. It's going to bounce, hit the fence, and 2 runs are going to score easily on the double by Spicer, and Yakima Valley up 2-0.
Paul Thomas Field, a comedian on the mound, talking about baseball.
This pitch is hit well. It's over to third and over to left field, I should say, as the runner from third comes home. And into second base is Jacob Brooks with an RBI double. It's now 3-0 Yakima Valley. Well, this is going to be a lot of fun. This pitch swung on and grounded to the second baseman, in on the ball, and a throw, and the throw kind of got away from him and goes all the way past the dugout. So another run's going to score here. It's now 4-0 Yakima Valley, and that's going to go as an error on the throw. I'm not going to assume that you know how to spell Apple Sox. It's A-P-P-L-E. This pitch swung on and hit past the shortstop into left field. The run's going to score. The Apple Sox first run of 2025 comes with 2 outs here in the bottom of the third. And really kind of this pitch, speaking of home runs, if it was in the air, it would have been a homer. Runner from around in third, and the throw is cut off and no throw home. Now the throw out to second base, not in time. That was a line drive to Marlboro out there in left field, and the run scores. It's now 5-1 Yakima Valley. And of course, our production assistant here tonight, the lovely and talented Marion Granstrom. And that'll do it as a strike 3 called. The Apple Sox will go away with a loss on opening night here to the Yakima Valley Pippins by a score of 5-1.
That was Friday. On Saturday, another story altogether. The Sox erupted for 10 runs behind starter Alec Johnson, who gave up just 2 hits. Noah Fields went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Colby Holmdahl went 3 for 5, and Brady Bean continued his hot start. He was 2 for 4, including a pair of doubles and an RBI. So with that blowout win, 10-0, it was Mitch Darlington's 100th win as the skipper of the Apple Sox. He's just the 2nd manager in club history to do so. And then yesterday, Brady Bean tied the Apple Sox record for most runs scored in a game with 5. And one of the new guys, Kyle Pangarbianban, I'll have to remember that. He went 5 for 5, 7 RBIs, and was a home run away from the cycle, 17-4 over the Pippins yesterday. Wenatchee led 17-1 after the 8th inning. Cody Snow shut the door in the 9th inning. Yakima Valley did score 3 times in the 9th to make the final score 17-4. Apple Sox have the day off today before they host the Kelowna Falcons for a 3-game series starting tomorrow. And we will have tomorrow night's game right here on the NCWLIFE channel with Eric and Brandon in the first pitch at 6:35. To the West Coast League scoreboard from yesterday, there's Wenatchee's blowout win over Yakima Valley. The Clippers beat the Bellingham Bells 6-2. It was Kamloops over Port Angeles 10-9. Victoria knocked off Kelowna. Portland got by Cowlitz. Springfield doubled up Walla Walla, and Bend over Ridgefield. Well, the Wenatchee Panther boys soccer team took home the third place trophy at the state tournament in Puyallup over the weekend. Friday night, the Panthers and the Hazen Falcons went into overtime before Hazen scored the golden goal in a 2-1 Panther loss. Highlights courtesy of the NFHS network.
And that is Landon Colasurdo, gets it to the outside to Steven Cruz. Cruz, step over, chips into the 18, turn, looking for the shot into the 18, light up at the 6, and goal! Vitali!
Holy cow.
Gets the ball in, and there is the first shot. Song with the assist, and with the goal is Vitali Puljak in the 9th minute. Shot is in! What a shot by Pierre Vega, gets the equalizer. 1-1.
We have watched some excellent free kicks this afternoon, my friend.
In the 65th.
That's a third one in the last couple hours. Just well placed.
Garcia Mendoza into the 18, shot is blocked. And there is the end of regulation. There it is, hands go up. Towards goal, header. It's in! Diving header! And Hazen is headed to the championship. Kai Hirano finds his teammate, and the header goes in.
That was Friday night. On Saturday afternoon, the Panthers took on the Chiawana Riverhawks for a chance at third place, and they got it. They emerged with a 3-1 victory, the first ever third place finish for the Panther boys.
Taking this is going to be Limon.
Oh.
High and in! Never gave up on it, Wenatchee. And Wenatchee gets the first goal of the game. 1-0 Panthers lead.
Oh.
Garcia is blocked by Nino. Andrade trying to make up ground. Follow-up is there. What a shot and what a follow-up. And posing for the picture, that is Aiden Harris. He had a rocket earlier, and this time a little tapper. Great follow-up by Aiden Harris. And cleared up the field by the Panthers. Poke forward.
Speed.
Garcia trying to outpace the back line, and Anthony Garcia. Shot is in!
Oh.
Puts on a burst of speed, and as we said, he can fly, and he does just that. Anthony Garcia makes it 3-0. Panthers on top. His pass forward. Gets by, turn, shot in! And what a shot from Rowan Hattie. Throw in.
He's going to call it.
And there is the end of the match.
All right.
And the Wenatchee Panthers finish in third. The Panthers take home their first third place trophy in program history. They have finished first, they finished fourth twice, and now they take home their first third.
Great year for the Panthers, and with that, folks, that's the end of the prep sports season for the year. Wow, it flew by. All right, let's head on up to Fancher Heights for Wenatchee Valley's Super Oval, the $25,000 Wenatchee 200 presented by Plum Perfect. In the Angel Bail Bonds Legends main event, Cole Dassenbrock out of Deer Park took the checkered flag. Dylan Wolf from Auburn finished second, and Piper Alton of Port Angeles third. In the other heats and the other races that were being held at the SLM Super Late Models, the main events, Owen Riddle of Natchez takes the checkered flag. Casey Klein of Quincy came in second, and Cole Raz of Lake Oswego, Oregon finishes third place. And of course, the Thunder Cars. The Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning Thunder Cars. Dave Lund out of Arlington takes the checkered flag. Bart Hector Jr. out of Ephrata finished the second. And Cody Harris in the number 0 card. A car finished third. It was a big packed house at the WVSO on Saturday night. And those are just some of the games that people are playing. It's the bottom of the hour. It is National And I wish this was a Friday, but it's not. It's always on June 2nd. So today is National Leave the Office Early Day, cut out early day. I mean, you deserve it. You work hard. I'm assuming you work hard. So today is the day that you cut out early, if you can get away with it. And we work hard. About a third of all Americans work more than 40 hours of work. Of course, if you're if you're self-employed or you work a couple of jobs, you can do 60, 70, 80 hours a week. Americans work about 49 hours a week on average, for a grand total of about 350 more hours a year than most Europeans. They got it going there in Europe. As most people would expect, Monday is the most common day for workers to call in sick. The day that is used least for a sick day, Friday, believe it or not. In Australia, for reasons I don't know, the most common sick day is Tuesday. Here's a sobering thought for you. If you start full-time work at the age of 20 and you work 40 hours a week until you're 65 years old, you will spend 90,000 hours of your life working. The first resume, reportedly written by Leonardo da Vinci, like he needed a resume. He was a Renaissance man, he could do it all. And if you really don't like to work, the average work week in the Netherlands is 29 hours a week. So today is the day, if you can, to cut out of the office early. And it will be a nice afternoon, so why not? It's 32 minutes after the hour. Today in history. At what is now Mackinac City, Michigan, on this date 262 years ago, June 2nd, 1763, the Chippewas pulled a fast one. For the last month or so, the Chippewas would play lacrosse right outside the walls and the gate of the local fort, the local garrison. They played lacrosse, and the soldiers enjoyed it. They would come out and watch the game. And then on this day, their plans came to fruition. The Chippewas hit the ball. They're playing lacrosse. The ball went through the open gate of the fort. Then they all rushed in, presumably to get the ball, but in fact, there were weapons that were hidden inside the garrison, in which the local Chippewa women had smuggled into the fort. Then they grabbed the weapons and turned around and killed about 15 of the 35-man garrison in the struggle, and they captured Fort Michilimackinac by diverting the garrison's attention with a game of lacrosse. Maybe that's why lacrosse never really caught on around here. Today is Lou Gehrig Day across Major League Baseball. If you watched any baseball games yesterday, you noticed all the teams are wearing Lou Gehrig's number 4, all of it to raise awareness for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. Today is actually Lou Gehrig Day because it was on this date 100 years ago today, one of the most famous headaches, probably the most famous headache in sports history. As the legend goes, first baseman Wally Pipp arrives at the clubhouse before a game with the Washington Senators, complains of a headache. Manager Miller Huggins overhears Wally Pipp, says, "Wally, I'm going to give you the day off. I'm going to put Gehrig in the lineup." Now, Lou Gehrig had played the day before as a pinch hitter, but he broke into the starting lineup on this date 100 years ago today. It really wasn't the reason Lou Gehrig was put in the lineup. The reason was the Yankees were not playing very well. They were not playing. They were playing lethargic baseball. They just did not have a very good year in 1925. The Babe was struggling. A lot of players were struggling, and so Miller Huggins basically wanted to shake up the lineup to shake up the lethargy of the team, not so much because of Wally Pipp's headache. That was 100 years ago today. Of course, Gehrig would play every game for the next 14 years. Wally Pipp would be traded to the Reds after the season. June 2nd, 1935, 90 years ago today, it's over for the Babe. Babe Ruth at the Boston Braves announces his retirement from baseball. He couldn't field anymore. He was 40 years old. He was out of shape. He couldn't run, which made him a defensive liability, and it was getting to the point where teams were actually purposely trying to hit the ball to Babe, knowing that he couldn't chase the ball down, couldn't catch it, and couldn't throw it. So he retires with 714 home runs, of course, by far the most in Major League history at the time. Who was in second place on the all-time home run list when Babe Ruth retired on this date in 1935? Lou Gehrig. He had 378 at the time. And it all came full circle on June 2nd, 1941. 84 years ago today. Exactly 16 years to the day that Lou Gehrig broke into the Yankees starting lineup. Lou Gehrig dies of amyotrophic lateral sclerosis at his home in New York City at the age of 37. That's why it is now known as Lou Gehrig's disease. It is strange indeed. And speaking of baseball, 35 years ago today, Randy Johnson pitches the first no-hitter in Mariner history, a 2-0 win over the Tigers at the Kingdome. Here is how it ended.
Here comes the left-hander's wide. The 0-2 pitch on the way. Swing! It's over! He has done it! High fastball, Randy Johnson being mobbed by Scott Bradley down to greet him and the entire Mariner team. Here on the 2nd of June, it ends at 9:51 Pacific Daylight Time. Randy Johnson with the first Mariner no-hitter in history, and they are going crazy. Everybody saluting the tallest man to ever put on a uniform in the history of baseball. Randy Johnson has done it. He has no-hit the Detroit Tigers tonight, 2-0. My, oh my.
Yeah, it was a fun day. It was a Friday night. I remember that, listening to that on the radio at our cabin up at Lake Wenatchee. Yeah, good memories there. We have a heavenly birthday, one of the greatest drummers, maybe the greatest drummer in rock and roll history. I'm permanently addicted to the backbeat that Charlie Watts brought to the Rolling Stones, and for good measure. He was really the glue that held the Stones together. He gave them their extremely unique and powerful sound. The late, great Charlie Watts, born in the state in 1941. Of course, he died 4 years ago at the age of 80. And unlike all the other rockers and rollers, he was married for 56 years. This makes you feel old. Jerry Mathers, the Beaver. Are you ready for this? 77 years old. Do you remember back in the 90s when he was the Grand Marshal of the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival Grand Parade? They did that for a while. They brought in celebrities. They brought in Shirley Jones, Vicki Lawrence, Danny Glover, Jerry Mathers back in the 90s. They don't do that anymore. The Beaver is 77, and Dana Carvey, he's working again. Of course, he was doing all those Joe Biden impersonations on Saturday Night Live. The Dana Carvey show is available for you to watch. I highly recommend it. It was hilarious. And of course, one of the greatest impersonators of all time, impressionists. He's 70 years old today. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. For heat and air, call Alpine Air. You saw the forecast, folks. We're going to be kissing 90 by the weekend. We're going to be well above normal all week long with our afternoon high temperatures. It's AC time. Make sure it works. Give Alpine Air a call. You don't want it to break down when it's 100 degrees. When we come back, an opinion from Mike Mad Dog McNaughty. What if God had a Facebook page? Mike has a little thought on that, and then my conversation with Sarah Baum, the events and marketing manager for WIC Communications at Wenatchee World, as they hand out the 15th annual World's Best Awards in a public ceremony on Wednesday. She'll tell you about it when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWLIFE channel.
Caught in a conflict? Family? Workplace? Neighbor? Business? Housing disputes? Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center provides mediation services, a cost-effective and efficient way to provide a written resolution to disputes and issues. Plus, we offer mediation training and community education on conflict resolution and communication skills. Contact us to learn more.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Did somebody turn off the lights?
Don't forget your seatbelt.
This car won't start until you buckle up.
Seatbelt, Grandma.
Oh.
1 arm, 2 arms, take up.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
However you say it, it's perfect. Together, we get there.
This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. And I was once asked, in the world's history, what group of people have been the most persecuted and oppressed? And I said the Jews. And although I was close, I wasn't correct. The right answer is women. Throughout human history, often unfortunately supported by a misogynist interpretation of Scripture, women have been oppressed, abused, and relegated to a subservient position in our society. Now, although this situation has improved, this insecure, male-driven attitude still continues, and what also continues is the oppression of our female counterparts is often blamed on God, who would be posting "shaking my head" on Facebook if God actually had a Facebook account. He doesn't, does he? This is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
You trust the same doctor for your health and the same dentist for your smile. Trust Global Car Care to keep your vehicle running strong. We track your car's history so it gets the right care at the right time. With our 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on parts and labor, you'll drive away with confidence. Global Car Care, your automotive experts. We service all makes and models, but specialize in Sprinter vans, Mercedes, Audi, Volkswagen, and BMW. Call or visit us today.
Bring the whole family up to Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house in historic downtown Chelan. Applewood smoked brisket, street-style tacos, and our award-winning barbecue rubs and sauces. Our meals pair perfectly with our exciting lineup of craft ales, made right here in Chelan. We've got room for big groups, or give us a call for catering. So grab the kids and check out the fun at Stormy Mountain Brewing and local public house located in the heart of Chelan.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether,
we provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
Now there are even more reasons to meet at the Pybus Market. Outdoor dining and tastings, the fabulous Farmers Market, Saturday artisans on the concourse, and your favorites all week long. No matter the reason, it's always time to meet at the Pybus Market. Pybus Market, where community meets.
Welcome back to the program. This lovely young woman to my immediate left has a busy job at our media partner, the Wenatchee World, under the same umbrella of WIC Communications and Washington Media LLC. Sarah, introduce yourself to our television family.
I am Sarah Baum, and I am the event and marketing manager for Washington Media.
How long has that job existed?
They brought it back after COVID, so I've actually been with the World since February of 22.
Okay.
And I facilitate the events and all that fun stuff.
And one of the things that you brought back was something that one of the local Rotary clubs have been doing for years. They had the NCW Sports Awards, which dated back to the late 60s. Kind of petered out.
Yep.
Just disappeared. These things happen. And the Rotaries no longer did the NCW Sports Awards, and you guys decided to bring back to honor the local prep athletes. That went well.
That went well. We hosted that at Wenatchee Valley College on May 17th. And we had some great young athletes come out, and it was a really great time. So hopefully next year we have the community come out and really celebrate these young athletes.
We're here to talk about World's Best.
Yep.
It is back. There's a couple of changes this year.
Yep.
First of all, if you're not nominated or not going to win, you can still show up.
Yep.
This is something new. You've thought about this for a while. In previous award ceremonies, when you hand out the certificates for those businesses and individuals that won the World's Best competition, Sarah, it was for the people who won.
Yep.
They would show up, you give them a certificate, take some photos. It was all a beautiful, wonderful thing.
Yep.
Now it's opened up to the public. What's the thought process behind that?
We want the community to be able to come out and really celebrate the businesses, people, places that they nominated and voted in. I mean, they're the ones that are bringing these businesses to the event. So we wanted to open it up for everybody to come and celebrate and just have a good time.
And it is going to be Wednesday, June 4th at the Wenatchee Convention Center. It gets going at 5:30. $35 will buy you your ticket. Hors d'oeuvres from the Wenatchee Convention Center. They do, they've really upped their food game. Have you noticed
They
that?
have.
Yeah.
They have. I actually have the menu, and we have some great items to come out. It's also a no-host bar. So come on out, have some hors d'oeuvres and some drinks, and listen to the world's best musician solo artists this year.
That's the only one we're going to reveal in advance. Everybody else, you're going to have to wait till Wednesday, June 4th to find out. 136 categories. I didn't even know there was 136 businesses and individuals.
Yeah.
How did you, and you've actually eliminated a few over the years.
We have. We look at how many different businesses there are in that category. There needs to be at least 5 for a business to be a category, or for a category to be there. And then we also look at the nomination rates and voting for the categories as well. So there's a little bit of back-end thought process that goes into it. But we're also open to recommendations for categories and things like that. So
nobody has a monopoly on knowledge. I mean, when you say, okay, I didn't even know that type of business or service even existed.
Well, and they're evolving all the time too,
Yeah.
because things are changing, new businesses are coming up. So it is definitely something that we review on an annual basis.
The voting's been closed for a couple of weeks now?
It closed on April 26th.
Is there, as you see the submissions come in and the voting tallies by going to the World's website, do you have a running idea of where everybody is, or is that kind of a...
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Yeah?
I do.
But it's all just you, right?
At this point, the sales staff know, and the winners do know that they have won.
Yeah, they've been informed, so that way they'll show up.
Yeah, we have asked that they do keep it quiet until at least after the event.
Are they good at doing that?
Yes, yes. Usually right after the event, there's pictures, and we have a backdrop with all of our sponsors on it, and we have a line lined up out the door waiting to take pictures. So
name names. Name some of the people who let it slide a little.
Well, we do have some consecutive winners. So we do have a handful of businesses that have won 15 consecutive years,
which is impressive.
Which is really impressive. Yeah. Come to the event.
I didn't want to put you under any kind of pressure. Of the 136 different categories, there's one we're going to tell you right now who the winner is, because that person's going to be entertaining folks at the Convention Center. And now, with that announcement, please welcome Sarah Baum.
So it's actually a new category that we added this year, and it's in the community section. It is musician/solo artist. So Taste of Whiskey is this year's winner, and he will be playing at the event. So nothing else, come out just to watch him play.
What do the winners get besides kudos and a nice certificate?
They also get banners. You'll see banners all over town that hang up all year round. Even some that are older still keep their banners up. Buttons. They can really purchase anything that they want.
136. That's just, it's an amazing Now, do a lot of people, you know this and I don't, they really love this business or this service or this person. They'll go to the website, they'll find that category and that person vote, or some people go through and do all 136?
Some go do all 136, some just do their favorites. We've added a new feature this year that all of there are businesses that have won multiple categories or been nominated in multiple categories. So we made it a little bit easier, and it was in one spot this year. We also added text to vote this year that we haven't had in previous years, which really went well. And it was a one-time vote per text, per phone, and that really went well too. So
one thing you'll notice is that the winners are locals. They're all local businesses. You're not going to see Macy's.
No.
Or Target.
The community
votes, but
does vote and nominate.
But they vote for the locals. I notice that you don't see the big stores for the most part.
Typically, yes.
Yeah.
Now there are some that are bigger box stores. Yes, I can let that slip.
So who right now, as we speak, who knows the winners? Outside of the winners themselves,
the sales staff, myself, and the back-end support team.
Okay, and you probably can't do this without the back-end support team.
No,
it's not. This is not the Sarah Baum show. This is a lot of people.
McKinley Crane does a lot. She's our marketing team associate. She helps the sales staff with a lot of their fulfilling and that type of stuff. And she helps put the tab together. She was up bright and early this morning, getting that all laid out, and she's just amazing. So everybody's amazing.
Again, it's for the first time ever, it's open to the public. Before this year, it was a private affair, invitation only, and the winners were the only ones that were invited, immediate family and coworkers, stuff like that. But this is now open
Anybody.
to the public. You're expecting a pretty good crowd then, I suppose.
Hope so.
Yeah.
Hope so.
Well, there's thousands and thousands of people watching this very program right now as we speak, Sarah. So we know they're going to be involved in this 2-hour program, roughly.
Roughly. It does take quite a bit to call all 136 up to the stage, but it does go pretty quickly.
Did you get a bulk rate on the certificates?
No. No.
What else is coming down the hopper from WIC Communications, specifically the Wenatchee world? Once you get through, this is probably the biggest thing that you guys put. This and the wine festival.
And the wine festival, that's coming up too. We also have the NCW wine judging coming up. That's part of the Wine and Food Festival. Wineries can submit the wines, and then actually, because they are part of our judging, they can move on to bigger competitions that they wouldn't normally be able to enter without winning, our awards. So it's just a great event. You learn a lot, and it's about a 2-day process.
Do you need judges?
Yes. Yes. There's actually about 9 judges and 3 moderators. There's sets of 3, and each moderator helps, each table, and they don't drink the same flights of wine until the very end. So a lot goes into it.
And you get these are audiophiles. These are the people who know what they're talking about.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're sommeliers.
Yeah.
Or
I don't think you can say that on television.
Sommelier. Yeah. I can't even really say that word in general. Then we also have the Wine and Food Festival that is coming up in August.
That's at the Town Toyota Center as usual?
Town Toyota Center. And then we also have our 30 under 35 event that is normally in July. We have moved now to October, so the nomination phase will open up in July for that. And that's a really great event too.
You should bring in the 60 over 60 so I could compete in that.
At least 40 over 40 so I could compete in it. Way back, I think, in the day I was nominated for 30 under 35.
Really?
When it first came to life.
What were you doing
15 years ago. I was the general manager of Comfort Inn downtown, actually.
Okay. And now you're doing this.
Now I'm doing this.
Yep. You got to do something new professionally, I think, every about 10 years just to mix it up.
That is my habit every 10 years. So
new job?
New job, new career.
Yeah.
New career.
So Josh, watch out, because in 8 more years, Sarah, no, I'm just kidding. Again, it is Wednesday the 4th. It starts at 5:30 at the Wenatchee Convention Center. $35. QR code. There you go. Just pick up your phone, go, and you're in live music from the already announced world's best musician and solo performer. And all 136, we hope, winners will be there, plus co-workers and family
and friends and the community who voted them.
Yep, absolutely. Yep. So, did you have any idea 15 years ago the monster that was created? Because you weren't there 15 years ago.
I wasn't there.
It's out of control now.
It's out of control. In 2021, I was part of the world's best ceremony with the Black Phone Book that I had worked for then. And it was a small group, about 75 people, and we have grown and grown to last year was over 350. So I'm hoping to get over that this year. So come on out and help us celebrate.
And you'll get $35 worth of entertainment. And again, it is on Wednesday, June 4th, starts at 5:30 at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Good to see you, Sarah.
Good to see you too, Dan.
Did you walk or drive from?
I drove.
From 14 North Mission to?
I came from home first,
okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll let it go.
Yeah.
You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Tour Moses Lake just a gas tank away. With its abundance of outdoor activities, Moses Lake is a great place to visit. From fishing and boating to exploring the city's attractions, there is no shortage of things to do. Whether you're enjoying any one of the variety of restaurants with the family or an adventure-filled day with friends, Moses Lake has something for everyone. Tour moseslake.com and start your adventure today.
Hasn't warmed up much. It was 54 when this show began an hour ago. Now it's 55. It'll take us a little while to get there. You can see the clouds behind me. They'll start to thin out. They'll start to part. We did have that cold front that came in on Saturday, although those very, very strong winds, at least in the Wenatchee Valley, didn't really pan out. It was expected on Saturday afternoon, but there were some locations that had gusts close to 50 miles an hour. We kind of avoided the really strong winds. And although there is a little bit of wind in the forecast on Tuesday night, for the most part, we're in for a long stretch of sunny, warm, and then hot weather with extremely low relative humidity. And the Climate Prediction Center, as they always do on the last day of each month, does their long-term forecast for the following month. And so on the 31st day of May, they spit out what they think is going to happen for the month of June. The Climate Prediction Center as a whole, and as you can see, we have a better than 50-50 chance of seeing warmer than normal temperatures and a very good chance of seeing drier than normal conditions. And we are in a drought. I mentioned this at the top of the show. For the month of May, all the measurable precipitation came out to just about 1/10 of an inch. A little more than 1/10 of 1 inch was all the precipitation we got for the month of May. On a normal month of May, we would get 3/4 of an inch of rain. It was bone dry, and on top of that, relative humidity is extremely low, and that is going to be the case all this week as a large ridge of high pressure will begin to move into the area today. Now, it's going to be sunny, it's going to be warm, it's going to be very nice. I mean, there's no real complaints about the weather, but we sure do need the rain. So here you go. From the National Weather Service, clouds this morning, sunshine this afternoon. We'll get up to 76, which is just about normal for this time of the year. 52 for the overnight low tonight. Then we start talking about warming up. 81 on Tuesday, a brief little wind event on Tuesday night. We could see wind gusts at about 20 miles an hour on Tuesday evening, but no real wind at all on Wednesday. We'll be up to 82 and then to 86 and 86 again. It's going to be a beautiful night for commencement exercises for Wenatchee High School. Of course, they do theirs outside at Lee Bofta Field at the Apple Bowl, and then into the close to 90, maybe into the 90s on Saturday and Sunday. That's it for us. I'll promise I'll shave tomorrow. I just didn't have time today. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.